If you are a fan of the Sega Genesis, then you are well aware of its impressively robust libraries of shoot-'em-ups. Pretty much from the moment it launched in every territory, you had some great options that span both horizontal and vertically scrolling varieties. As time went on, things just kept getting better and better. Between the likes of the Thunder Force releases, Musha, Gyarus, and many others, the Genesis was one of the better places to get your 16-bit shoot-'em-up fix. But as was the norm for 1980s and 90s gaming, there were quite a few members of this genre that were left in the Asian regions. And it remained that way for years until internet collecting groups and social media began to beat the drums of discovery. That was when titles like Eliminate Down finally got their time in the light. Released in June of 1993 and developed by a company called ApriNet, it's a multi-directional shooter that borrows heavily from other greats in the genre. And it quickly gained a reputation as a fantastic addition to the Mega Drive library. The problem was that it was released in Japan at a time when the Mega Drive was already in heavy decline, and published by a company called Softvision that did not make a lot of retail copies. Samsung picked it up for South Korea, but that manages to be even harder to find. Once collectors caught wind of its rarity, prices began to skyrocket. A loose cart will go in the hundreds of dollars, while a complete and in good condition auction will typically go in the thousands. Since many of you haven't played this one, let's take a quick look at it and see what it's all about. Unlike many Japanese-made shoot-'em-ups, Eliminate Down doesn't waste any time on long story cinematics explaining your motivations. The instruction manual has a simple tale of a race called the Amuletto wanting to conquer Earth, and the spacecraft steel pylon standing in their way. Once you get going, you are greeted with a weapon system that can be switched on the fly and gives you 4 different ways to assault your enemies. The first is the Burst, a forward-firing volley of bullets that has impressive coverage. The second is the Wave, a reverse-firing weapon that has a main volley and a spread that angles wide. There are the Bombs, a series of explosives that fire above and below you. Your fourth and final weapon is your main cannon, which always shoots directly in front of you and always fires no matter what other weapon you are using. Each of these weapons can be upgraded multiple times. Collecting the P icons will build up your weapon level, which can be followed down in the lower right hand side of the screen. Each time you collect enough P icons, you'll see the weapon level go up, which is located in the middle of the lower screen, right above the number of ships you have remaining. There are also E icons, which upgrade your main cannon that fires all the time. These are extremely important as the main cannon can do some nasty sustained damage against the larger enemies. Finally, there are the B icons, which is your barrier. Typically, if you take a single shot, your ship is destroyed, but with the barrier, you can take 3 hits before it dissolves. You can also adjust your ship's movement speed at any time by hitting start and setting the speed accordingly. Stages range from the simple open space variety, asteroid fields, caves, enemy complexes, and the heart of the Amuletto fleet itself. Most of these areas are puzzle-like in terms of what weapons you need to use. The correct choice will clear the screen in no time, while others will leave you open to enemy fire that leaves you no place to run. Eliminate Down is also a one-player game only. Eliminate Down is a very nice looking Mega Drive game. The ship and the weapon system look great, and the screen is always busy with ships, natural formations, and some oddball diagonal scrolling that often feels unique. There are a few of the backgrounds here that are gorgeous, loaded with many layers that include a foreground. I was also really impressed with the special effects that often mimic sprite scaling and rotation. Watch the ships and the bosses as they deploy their various weapons and moves. Some really come off as if the Genesis could do this stuff in hardware, and it never slows down the action. There is some sprite flicker here and there when the larger explosions happen, but it all looks so damn good you won't even care. Bottom line is, this 8 megabit shooter is an absolute beauty, and stands firm right alongside the best on the Genesis. The soundtrack to a shoot 'em up is as important as the visuals and gameplay. You need a suitably rocking sound to motivate your survival instincts and provide you that emotional rush. So many games in this genre never understood that and suffered mightily because of it. Fortunately, Eliminate Down has a number of heavy hitters that make the journey all the more fun. Not every single one is a winner, but the sheer variety is really impressive. Every stage has multiple tracks, and I've chosen a few for your listening enjoyment. I'm covering Eliminate Down because it was recently announced that Retrobit Publishing was joining forces with the original publisher and reissuing the game for the first time in North America and Europe. You can now pre-order your very own copy of this game until January 2nd of 2024. You have multiple retailers to choose from, and the game is expected to ship in the second quarter of next year. The special Retrobit edition comes with a region-free cartridge that is Emerald Nebula Green, a reversible sleeve, a slipcover, and a full-color manual. Retrobit has also included a new cheat code that gives players extra lives. Since this game is rather difficult in the final stages, this should make it accessible to even the casual players among you. I will put some links down in the description so you can find the appropriate retailer and read all about what's included. If you enjoyed shooters like Gyruss and Thunder Force, I really do recommend you give Eliminate Down a look. It's a solid and very well designed shoot 'em up that looks and sounds great. It even has a mini puzzle game included where you have to hit ships on a grid as they animate. Considering the cost of this one and its original Japanese and Korean variants, this is the only affordable way to own a physical game today. Given the effort and quality that Retrobit has put into past releases like this, it should be well worth the wait. I'm Sega Lord X. Thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you next time.